of the America's Armageddon Series. I hope you're excited as we are. The show that gets in your face more than 1,001 hungry mosquitoes. And we're going to be bringing you all the excitement. Myself, Grandmaster Simon Williams from the Berlin studios, alongside my great friend Jovanka Huska.
Pleasure to be here, Simon. And I'd also like to equally extend a very warm welcome to everyone watching the show on television and also online. And remember, if you like what you see, please remember to subscribe to the World Chess YouTube channel, where you can find additional content, interviews with the players, highlights. And remember, if you like it, share it with anyone who plays chess.
That's right, Jovanka, and we're now going to bring you a highlight video from our good friend Fiona, and let's have a look at what's happened so far.
As we enter the final day of the action here in Berlin, let's have a look at the best moments so far. We had 8 players from the Americas fighting it out in an exciting double elimination format. 6 of the best players from the Americas were invited, and we had 2 online qualifiers who joined us all the way from Peru, Grandmaster Jose Martinez and International Master Renato Terry. We saw a lot of thrilling action. The players fought it out in a blitz format. We had 6 Armageddon deciders almost every single day, the most exciting of which happened between Lenier Dominguez and Andrew Tang. The pieces were flying, the heart rates were through the roof, and we've seen so much action here throughout the week. Today, the event reaches its conclusion, and we will find out, will the top seed Wesley So continue winning all his matches, or can either Sam Shankland or Andrew Tang snatch the victory away from him? Tune in today as we find out.
So this is the last day of the Americas. It's going to be really, really exciting. So make sure you've got your popcorn ready. And yeah, let's have a little dive into what we can expect.
Yeah, because this is the Armageddon Championship Series 2023. It's the ultimate chess showdown. And there are 3 regional qualifying events: the Americas, which is happening right now, Asia and Oceania, Europe and Africa, and a very special qualifying stage, the Women's Armageddon Week. A total of 8 players participate in each qualifying event, and there are 32 players in total. So 2 players from each region have qualified online, so it could be you next time, while 6 of the strongest players have received those invitations.
So Wesley So already through to the grand final, but who is going to join him? Everything is broadcast live from the World Chess Club in Berlin on Unter der Linden Street.
And we kicked off everything with the America Series. During this week, these guys have shown us how it is done. So 5 players have been eliminated, and these 3 players are still remaining.
We only have American players left. We have the great Wesley So, Sam Shankland and Andrew Tang. It's going to be fast. It's going to be furious. The action is not far away. And again, this is your chance. Get the popcorn in.
Yeah, and talking about popcorn and excitement, we do have to mention one of our partners, the FIDE Online Arena, which hosts rated tournaments and games 24 hours per day. Join the arena, you'll get a FIDE ID, profile on FIDE.com, access to a pro chess community, official online ratings, and titles all recognized by the International Chess Federation. So remember to play official games at chessarena.com.
Let's now bring up the bracket and the situation so far in the tournament. Remember, this is the last day. It's all going to happen. We're going to have a winner. We're going to have some tears, maybe. Wesley So in the final already, but the first match is going to be between Sam Shankland and Andrew Tang. Now, if one of these guys loses, they are out. It's going to be fascinating. And what is the format here?
Yeah, the 2 players will be playing 2 blitz games against each other, and if the match is still tied, it will go to Armageddon. And you know, we only have 3 players remaining in the competition. Let's have a look at their route to the final.
Wesley So arrived in Berlin as the top seed, and he has had an unbeaten run so far. In his first match, he beat Sam Shankland from the US after Sam missed a chance for 1 second in a very intense moment. Next up, Wesley was pitted against Renato Terry from Peru, and here Wesley proved too strong, winning both games in their mini-match encounter. Next up for Wesley, a fellow player from Minnesota, Andrew Tang. Their first game ended in a draw. However, in game 2, Andrew got a little too optimistic and Wesley punished a pawn sacrifice. Now Wesley is only 1 match victory away from being crowned the champion here in Berlin. Andrew Tang is known to be one of the fastest players on the planet with a mouse, but he's also been very impressive here in Berlin. In the first match, he took out Linier Dominguez after what was the most incredible Armageddon scramble. This set up a match against Jose Martinez, where once again it went down to the wire and Andrew prevailed in their Armageddon match. This means that Andrew took on the top seed Wesley So next. Their first game ended in a draw, but in game 2 Andrew got a little too optimistic and his pawn sacrifice didn't quite pay off. This means that Andrew will be back to take on Sam Shankland now to get a shot at a rematch against Wesley So and fight for the title here in Berlin. Sam Shankland lost his first match of the tournament against Wesley So, thus ending up in the losers bracket. However, from here on out, Sam won all his matches. First 2-0 against Canada's Eric Hansen, then in an Armageddon decider against Jose Martinez from Peru, setting up a match against his fellow American Grandmaster Linier Dominguez. Here Sam prevailed 1.5-1/2 after a very nice finish in the second game of their match. This means that Sam will now take on Andrew Tang for a chance at a rematch against Wesley So. Let's remember, all of these players can still win the title here in
We are only moments away now from the first match, which is Sam Shotgun Shankland versus the speedy guy Andrew Tang. And they're going to face off in this lower bracket, and the winner of this match will have a crack at the undefeated Wesley So, who's been so strong so far.
Yeah, and Sam and Andrew have actually never ever played each other before. And ever since Sam missed a win against Wesley in the second game, he just hasn't put a foot wrong. So it's going to be a close one, I have to say.
I think it's going to be a very close match, and we can now just look at the players in a bit more detail before they kick off. And we have Sam Shotgun Shankland first, a grandmaster at the age of 20, and he's been playing brilliant chess so far in this competition. He's becoming more of a blitz specialist, and he has already achieved a lot, being Olympic gold winner for Team US of A.
But he will be up against Andrew. I'm going to have to borrow this one, Simon. Speedy guy, Tang. You know, he is the god of speed. I mean, he was grandmaster at 19 years old. He has a blitz rating of 2602. He is super calm under pressure. He is a hyper bullet chess lover. And I have to say, he's also still studying. So whilst everyone has been preparing hard, Andrew Tang has been locked in his room, just working hard on those essays.
Hopefully not locked in his room. That would be a bit harsh, but he's in his room working. But we're now got the clock, it's counting down. There's 48 seconds until they kick off, and it's going to be a very close match, I feel. You've got Sam, who's more of a theoretical player, against Andrew, who is just a speed demon. And well, I don't know who my money is on, but let's remember, the loser is out. They don't get another chance, so stakes are high.
Certainly the stakes are high, and I have to remind everyone at home that whoever wins this match will actually get a ticket to the grand final, which is taking place in September. 15 seconds until the start of play. The players are sat there, they are ready. Sam has the white pieces. He is known for his very thorough opening preparation, whereas Andrew Tang has a more limited, more trusted opening repertoire. And the handshake, they are off.
And welcome everyone. Hello Amruta, we are off and this is going to be very exciting. It's C4, E6.
English, right?
Yes, but it's some kind of a Catalan perhaps. After knight f3, bishop e7, d4. We are in Catalan territory and he castles. Queen c2 played. Generally white castles in this position, but Queen c2 allows this line with c5. Andrew Tang takes advantage of that move. But of course, Shankland is prepared and he goes castles. Amruta, who are you supporting today?
Very cliche that may the best chess player win right now. But there is a lot of tension in the center, Sagar. I believe this is all opening. But can you tell us a little bit more
Yeah, I think
about the tension
this is
in your life?
open.
Just kidding.
This is opening preparation, but as always, Andrew Tang goes low on time and he's doing the same. He's down to 2 minutes and a few seconds. Here, he is not making his moves. I think maybe he's down to 2 minutes already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
159.
So what was that last move where he has been thinking?
I don't know. I mean, it's still, I'm sure it's theory. He puts his knight out on c6. Now Shankland takes. That just shows Sam is still in his preparation. This is good news for Sam Shankland fans here. But now Andrew pushes his pawn to d4.
And who are the chat supporting guys? Do drop in what do you think?
Yes. And Amruta, very important now. a3 is met with a5. Stopping b4. So rook d1 putting pressure here, e5. And it looks like black has got a great position because if black can take on c5, get the bishop out, connect the rooks by moving the queen, what problem does black have?
Yeah, so true. And in fact, I can see that white cannot go e3 because there is maybe, or can white go e3? I don't know.
No, he goes knight c3. And he says you can't take the knight here because your queen would be hanging. And what a beautiful camera angle this is. Takes on c5, bishop g5, pinning the knight, threatening knight e4, h6 played. I'm sure Sam is going to take it.
Yeah.
Or he can play knight e4. No, he takes it. Queen takes and now knight e4 makes
Knight
a lot of
e5,
sense.
no?
Oh, knight d5 also. You can put your knight here or here. He puts it on d5. So Amruta, a strong knight, but black has the bishop pair here. Queen moves to d6.
Oh, b4 is not happening. That's the key problem. And the pawn on d4 is taking so much space for black.
Yeah, that's true. That b4 is something that tactically should happen. Otherwise, it's trouble. But I think what Sam can do is reroute his knight to d3 so as to prepare the move b4.
Nice idea. That's a really cool idea. What you just showed.
Let's see what happens. By the way, we have heart rates on the screen. 119 for Andrew Tang, 107 for Sam. So they both look pretty much under control. I mean, I would say, Amruta, if it goes around 130, 140, we can then start thinking that they are under pressure. But Sam has used his time to find the move rook a b1. Now Andrew Tang down to 1 minute 35 seconds. He plays his bishop out to e6.
Yeah, that is so amazing that the time difference was 1 minute, more than a minute. Now it's almost equal.
Yes, and now Amruta, knight e4 is coming up. So f5 can be played, but he goes bishop a7. And Sam Shankland has a chance to now push forward with b4 with his knight in the center. Because the variation could be take, bishop takes, pawn takes, knight takes. You think you're winning a pawn, but after something like queen b3, the knight is almost trapped here. So he did not do that. He went knight e4. The queen went back to d8. And now Sam has pushed his pawn to b4. Pawn takes, and rook comes to c8. He's looking at some tactics here. what do you do? It's good quality play by both players in spite of being low on time. I mean, it's like 1 minute on the clock. But I think as the tournament has progressed, they have both become stronger.
And now is the threat b5 and winning the a7 bishop?
Yes, definitely b5 is a big threat and you have rightly seen it. But Amrita, maybe there is knight a5 which prevents the...
b6.
Oh, b6. Wow.
Still, it's a complicated thing.
Maybe
What
f5
did he
makes a
play?
lot of
He played-
sense. He played bishop g4, which is a massive blunder, Amrita, overlooking b5, b6, the idea which you have suggested. And Sam Shankland needs to find the winning move. And he does so. He pushes his pawn to b5 and he asks Andrew Tang, what is your idea? Do you want to take on e2? But then I'm just simply taking your knight here. Or I can even go rook d2, then take your knight.
Yeah, what was bishop g4? I mean, wasn't it clear? Or he has something in mind actually. Maybe he has something in mind.
Well, maybe it's just bishop takes e2 is what he wants to do.
But after b takes c6.
You can see Sam's heart rate has now jumped up.
Oh,
He's on
which means
126.
he thinks that his opponent has blundered.
Yeah, which means that he feels like he's also winning the game. Bishop e2.
Uh-huh.
And now Sam must decide whether he should take on c6 or should he play rook d2. If you take on c6, you must be ready for b takes c6, hitting your knight. The rook is hanging. I think better, Amrita, is just to play rook d2. And he plays it. He finds this move. Good move by Sam.
Yeah. Both were working in a way.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes, both were fine, but this is now very strong. It attacks the bishop on e2. The knight is hanging. He takes the pawn. You could see how Andrew Tang made that move. He was not at all confident about it. And queen takes c4. And now with just 7 seconds left, also piece down. I think it's already very, very dangerous and difficult. Goes queen e2 back. But maybe he had to just play queen to b3. But on e2, now f5 was possible, but he goes bishop b6 and Sam stops it.
Oh.
It's a good move. Rook c7, knight g3, rook c8, bishop e4,
Beautiful handling
g6,
of
queen
pieces.
f3. Yeah, he's playing on the light squares. And now look at the speed at which they are making their moves. Bishop moves to d5, rook d7.
But Sam is maintaining his time now.
Time and also clearly better position. Knight e4 hits the queen.
What if rook d5?
No, queen
Ah,
is
knight
hanging.
g5, sorry.
Bishop b3, rook f8 played. Queen g3, hoping for a queen trade, but Andrew Tang declines it.
But
Rook
the
e2.
e-pawn is under pressure in some way.
Yeah, pushes his
Oh.
pawn to g5, h knight g5, and Amrita, this is now going to be over very soon. He takes on e5, queen d8.
The black king is in a mess here.
Oh, he chops on f7. What a nice move. Sam is under such good form because if you take with either rook, there is knight e6 check, winning the queen. So he plays queen f6. Now after rook f3, I think resignation here. Sam Shankland with a convincing victory over Andrew Tang takes 1-0 lead. Great
Yeah,
chess.
that is really convincing.
What
And you can
chess
look at
by
Andrew
him.
right now.
And Amrita, that was a brilliant game here. Let's go back to our commentary team of Simon and Jovanka in the studio in Berlin and see what they have to say.
How stressed out the players are. And Andrew was surprisingly high there. I mean, he blundered. He just blundered a piece.
Yeah, he completely forgot that Sam had some threats on the board and he just overlooked it, blundered a piece, and there was just nothing he could do. But it was, up until that point, a very fighting game.
And you can see at this stage, Sam gets his knight right into the center of the board. What a beautiful knight that was. And it kind of remained there, causing trouble for a long time. Its tentacles swarming all the way around the board there. And that was the start, maybe of Andrew's problems, but they got a lot worse later on. He just missed Sam's threat. And this move was the big mistake.
It was the big mistake. It just completely overlooked Sam's response, which was just to attack the knight by pushing the b pawn 1 square forward. There it comes. And after this, Andrew's position just fell apart like a house of cards.
Yeah, totally. That was a very strong move. You still got to convert these games. I mean, when you know you're winning, it's so hard to actually finish the game off because you get more and more tense. But in this situation, those white knights, they're just so strong. And one of them is an extra knight. So Andrew's really got to bounce back from this and show a better quality of play to have any chance of now getting through to the grand final. Remember, if Andrew loses the next game, he's going home. That's it. And we will have a first final of Sam versus Wesley So. And here is another key moment, and this is where white just started taking everything.
I mean, an extra piece is better than 2 pawns. I mean, you said it yourself, and well, Sam just using every single idea possible. And now we're going to see a second pawn fall off after this stunning bishop takes pawn. And that's it. There's nothing to be done with seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, that was a great tactical spot by Sam there, and we're already counting down for the next game. Remember, this is quick, it's fast, we don't get much time in between games here. We're going to be straight in with Andrew at least having the advantage of the white pieces. He's got to win this game. He's 1-0 down. Any other result, he's going home. Tang has got a tango, and he's got a tango good.
Yeah, and as for Sam, he just has to hold on and not fall off. He can't let his nerves or any form of emotion whatsoever just sway him from the task. He just has to do what needs to be done. I mean, one of the great things about Sam is he has a very good opening repertoire. He's done courses on this. He knows his stuff, and he's been able to freestyle as well. 6 seconds until the start of play. I have to say one thing in Andrew Tang's favor. He's been in this situation.
And off we go. Amruta, all that Sam needs now is a draw in this game to go to the next advance to the finals with Wesley So.
Do you think Andrew will strike back?
I think there's a good chance because Andrew Tang has to play out of his skin here if he wants to make a comeback. D4 was played, and by the way, it was a London system. Bishop f5, and here Sam, being excellently prepared, takes it on b1. Now the idea is that when you want to give a check on b4, you don't want the knight coming out to c3 and or blocking with d2. So you take it, and after rook b1, bishop b4 check, it is impossible to block with knight d2. Why is this a bad move? A question to our chat. Is our chat awake, Amruta?
108 people are there. I don't know how many are awake. Yuke says, sir, I'm in 6th grade and I have school tomorrow and my parents are telling me to sleep, but I am stubborn.
Yuke, what will you play now? Come on. If you are stubborn, find the move for black.
Slayer, Amrit, Yuke,
Oh my god, so
Shaibi,
many people.
Divakar, Srinjay, Akshay, Aradhya, Yuke.
Brilliant.
Divakar.
Knight e4 is the correct move, pinning and winning. So he goes queen a4 intermezzo. And Sam is still in his prep, offers the trade, rook b1, and gives a check on b4. Now Andrew Tang has to decide how to meet the check. I think once again you have to move the king, but either to e2 or d1. Where?
If you go king e2, then you want to go g3 basically, and if you go king d1, then you want to develop maybe the bishop.
But he goes king d1,
Yeah.
and Sam once again instantly plays this hitting here. He's so well prepared, and Amruta,
Yeah, nice
it's his
opening.
strategy, I think, to play super fast and put his opponent under pressure. Bishop g3 played by
Almost forced actually.
Andrew.
Nice.
He has a 1 full minute lead.
Baapre, that's huge, man. Like,
Yeah.
really, Sam is impressive here. Mukul says, Sagar sir, what was the rating of Maharashtra state champion whom Samay defeated?
Bishop d6. He was under 10 champion, not open champion. His rating was around 1200 FIDE, I think.
Yeah.
Bishop d6. And I think online he was around 2200, his rating.
Because he's strong.
Yeah, very strong. Now, Amruta, the threat is to take on g3 and then take on f2 and fork, because the bishop defends that pawn. So he went knight d2.
So for bishop g3, knight e4 intermediate.
Yes, he wants to take here. So Sam can actually take on g3 with his knight and then go into opposite colored bishop position.
Narendra Khandekar says amazing prep by Sam again. You asked why didn't you come to Pune for the oil petroleum unit tournament held at PYC? Sagar was there.
Yeah, I came. Bishop
कौन से युग
g3.
में हो?
And Amrita, bishop h4 played. Now his point is, if you move the knight, f2 is hanging. And if you don't move the knight, then your knight is hanging. So maybe you have... Oh, he plays knight c3. He wants to put pressure here. And he says, if you take on f2, I'll take on d5.
That's a good way to create counterplay. And actually c6 seems like a solid, more solid way to continue.
But then I'll go g3. Even if you take on c4, I'll first play g3 and then take here.
So what did they play? They played...
Oh, he took king e2, defending e3. And after the bishop goes, he took g3. I think bishop g5 looks normal. Yes, he goes bishop g5. And now knight d5. So you see Andrew Tang is getting in the groove. Now h4. Just push the bishop away because you don't want to go to e6, f6. Knight can take it.
Hey, but if you go h6, then there is g4.
That's what has happened, and I think Amrita g4, g6 is happening. He goes g4. He wants to trap the bishop.
G6.
Great move.
G6 is forced.
G6 has to be played. He plays it. And now
But anyway,
g5.
And then
Bishop
h5.
g7, h5.
Oh, my God,
Oh.
crushing.
No, it's a huge advantage now for white.
Yeah, bishop h3 is also coming.
He played it.
Oh.
You are guessing all the moves, Amrita.
Yeah, they're all very natural right now. So Andrew is fighting back. He is 42 seconds and Sam has suddenly got a very bad position.
Yeah, Sam's heart rate is under control. He's at 111. Andrew is at 97. 42 seconds for him. 137 for Shankland. He's thinking about c6, or what did he do, by the way? King b8 played and rook goes to f1. Hitting here.
Rook f8 forced. I don't see a way to defend otherwise.
He played it. And now can you double down the f file? That seems like a good plan. He plays rook f4 with the idea of doubling. But Amrita, now f5 is a strong move because f5 blocks it and he plays it.
Oh, that was a good chance. Yeah, Sam did not.
He took it just when it seemed like his position was getting dangerous.
Yeah, in fact, Sam has written these two books which are small steps to giant improvement.
On
so
pawn
these are
structure.
so these are the things he's not going to miss it.
And Amrita, if he had started with rook f2, f5, then there were more possibilities because then you could use the f4 square for your knight. But because your rook is on f4, now that possibility is also gone. h5 played, but this is a big mistake because he finds rook f8, takes, and now e3 is weak and it's actually positionally really bad.
What? I'm so surprised. It still doesn't seem bad to me.
No, it's completely bad.
Oh, I understand why. Because d4 is going to be hanging.
I know.
Tactically.
Yes,
in the
you're
future.
Right. You're right. So he plays king e2 and now it's just 15 seconds. He goes knight e6. Great
Oh, with that
play.
knight d4 check.
King d3. But now isn't g5 hanging, Amrita?
Yeah, and the king on d3 is super weak actually speaking. So, wow, Sam has struck back. 10 seconds for Andrew.
Sam was winning, Amrita.
So Sam had a really bad position. And
yeah, that way. But you know, he had already won the first round.
With
so
that, yes.
He goes pawn to c6. The knight has to move. Knight f4. And Amrita, if I take on g5 now, will you take on g6? But also, Amrita, just take the knight and then play opposite colored bishop position. It's an easy draw.
Oh, he did that.
It's an easy draw. It's a good decision from the tournament situation perspective.
Right.
Rook h8 taking the open file. Rook g1, not exchanging pieces. But in his bid to win this game, I think he might overstretch and even lose this equalish position.
Because he is only 8 seconds.
b5 played. Takes. plays his pawn to c5. Strong move once again. d5. What? He just lost, Amruta. Completely lost. Now it's gone over the board. Overboard. He's losing this. Check. Check here. And it's time to resign. Wow. Sam Shankland has won 2-0 against Andrew Tang. What a game. Again, Amruta, great chess by Sam.
Absolutely. Does that mean we are going to be seeing the finals between
Wesley and Sam? That's how the finals are going to be. And Sam is in great form, so Wesley has definitely some thinking to do. Let's go back to our commentators in the Berlin studio and see what Simon and Jovanka have to say about this match.
Sorry for Andrew though, he didn't really show his best today.
No, I mean, I think he was very unfortunate in the sense that Sam just came very well prepared. He knew what he was doing. He was on form. I mean, we've seen that after his loss to Wesley, he just seems to be working his magic on every single level. And what an impressive first match from Sam. And there we see Andrew's opening, using his trusted London system. And we saw this stiff course did not phase Sam. Sam instantly responds and he meets Andrew's critical idea of c4 with bishop takes knight.
I think one of the problems that Andrew has is obviously he's not a full-time chess player, he's also a student. And Wesley So brought this up in the interview, something else you can see on the YouTube channel, that his opening repertoire is a little bit narrow, so it's very easy to prepare against. And we see here the exchange of queens. This is another factor that helps Sam get a nice stable position without too many worries. That bishop flying in with a very unfortunate check, and now the white king has to go to a square it doesn't really want to go to. It would rather castle, but it can't castle because it's in check. That bishop attacking it on the diagonal there. So black really played very, very well. I mean, Sam in both games, just excellent chess.
Just excellent, putting on the pressure when it matters. And here, it was slightly uncomfortable for Sam. But Sam, okay, he understands that he needs to take dynamic measures and instead chooses to break out. He's not going to be the one groveling for a draw. And I was very impressed by how he handled this.
Yeah, I mean, at one point Andrew had got the advantage, but Sam kind of kept his cool there and he didn't panic. And this is one thing in the Armageddon series you have to avoid doing. I'd be panicking, shaking, dropping pieces, sweating. I'd be all over the shop. Far too much pressure for this old man to play in the event. But he held it. He held it together very nicely. No worries at all there.
Absolutely not. And again, look at this, full board vision from Sam. He strikes out in the center, but what I like next is that after this pawn move, he just calmly puts his rook on an open line and starts harassing the white king. This is such great positional play.
Definitely. The most important thing in a rook ending, we're kind of in an ending here, is to get your rooks active. And that last move was checking the king to the bishop behind. When the king moves, the bishop would have dropped. And I think now we're going to hear from the loser, and we have Fiona having an interview.
Andrew, this is not the result you wanted, I'm sure. Unfortunately, you're now out of the tournament after losing this match against Sam. Can you tell us a little bit about the two games, please?
Yeah, I just didn't play that well, honestly. First game, I just hung a piece, basically. I think I could have trapped his knight, but I didn't see it again, so we were just missing things. And then second game, yeah, I was surprised by his move order a bit, so I didn't get what I wanted, and it's just not that easy to get winning chances there, although maybe I had some chance if I had seen this knight e7, knight f5 earlier, but yeah, it was pretty drawish.
In the first game especially, it looked like your heart rate was a bit higher than what we've been used to in the tournament so far. Did you feel more nervous?
Yeah, I was definitely a bit more nervous because this match was for top 2 and whatever, but I don't know, during the game I was not really paying attention to that, so yeah, I wasn't sure what my heart rate would be.
how much did it mean to you? As you said, the top two, the winner of this match qualifies to the grand finale. Was that something that was really a big goal for you?
Yeah, definitely. After I won my first two matches, I was in a good position to qualify. So obviously it's a big disappointment, but he played well.
The tournament, unfortunately, now is over. Can you tell us a bit about what for you made this Armageddon Championship so special?
Yeah, I think the format is just extremely exciting. I've never played in a tournament that's made me this stressed, but also had so much fun playing it. So yeah, I really like the format.
If you had to describe this tournament in just one word, what would that word be?
Stressful.
And tell us a little bit about your week here in Berlin. How did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah, the chess was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, the schoolwork was not as fun, so I didn't get to go out that much, but I really enjoyed playing the tournament.
Fantastic. Well, Andrew, it's been a pleasure having you here with us. Commiserations on this result, but we hope to have you back someday. And for now, back to the studio with Jovanka and Simon.
And we have to mention one of our partners, Kaspersky. As a technology and digital privacy company, Kaspersky supports the secure advancement of chess in the digital space and its expansion into online tournaments. It's the perfect combination of human excellence and strong technology.
And we're back now. I mean, I think Andrew summed that up in one word: stressful. But that's what we want for entertainment. We like a bit of stress in the chess world. It really takes things to the next level. And well, we're going to have the next match start quite soon, and this is a very big match, Jovi.
It's a huge match. It's like Wesley, the big boss, against Sam Shankland, who we saw is in impressive form, just defeating Andrew Tang 2-0. Yeah, it's stressful, but it is pushing chess and the players to the limits, and I like to see that.
Oh, definitely. It's always good to be pushed to your limits. And what's interesting about this? Well, let's have a look at the players first. We've got Wesley, Grandmaster at the age of 15, Blitz rating 2739. I mean, he doesn't really need more of an introduction. If you don't know who Wesley So is, what are you doing? He's just very good. Let's just leave it at that. He's just too good, this guy.
But he is up against Sam Shankland, who is a man on form. He just keeps on getting better and better. And just to recap some of those impressive stats, he was a Grandmaster at 20 years old. He was US champion in 2018. He's been Olympic gold medal winner with the USA team. And also, let's not forget, he's a tough as steels because he competed in the reality TV show Survivor, although he didn't survive very long there. Got knocked out in the first round.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a show where you have to survive naked. I'm quite happy he's not naked during this competition. But this is going to be a very exciting match. And just to remind you what the format is now, because Wesley has won every single game, it's a little bit different. If Wesley wins this mini match, he wins the whole championships. He's basically got a second life. On the other hand, because Sam lost to Wesley earlier on, Sam needs to beat Wesley in 2 mini matches to become the champion. So we're going to start off, it's the same format, 2 games, and if it's drawn, an Armageddon game. But it really is big favourites Wesley here, because he's got 2 chances to win the whole thing, right?
Yeah, of course. And I agree. 1 second to the start of play. The lights have changed.
And off we go, Amruta. The finals of the Armageddon.
B3? Oh, after knight f3, B3.
Yeah.
Maybe he's trying to go out of the opening. Wesley, isn't it? Anyway, we know he's a Fischer random world champion. So
he was the Fischer random world champion, and now he has to beat Sam Shankland, who has actually Amruta, won all his matches after he lost to Wesley So in the first one. So he's played really well until now.
So he would want a revenge for sure.
Yeah. Bishop b2. And you can see that this is known as the Botvinnik's triangle, where you weaken the d5 square, but you tell your opponent that if you come here, I'm going to just take it. And so Wesley first goes e3.
Okay.
He's playing very calmly, and idea in such positions just to play very solidly as white, maybe with d3, knight d2, a3.
Isn't it converting into something like close Sicilian in a way? Because now, yeah, exactly. Look, e4, c5. It's reverse Sicilian. We are in
Sort of.
close
Bishop
Sicilian.
e6.
f5.
And now
the plan is
he's
clear.
going to play d5 here.
He could also go d5.
So he goes rook c1, and I already like black's position. Maybe just queen d7 and bishop h3 is one idea.
Yes.
Can we go d5? No, actually, if you go d5, then c5 pawn could come under pressure.
Yeah, no, queen d7 is nice. Definitely nice. What did he play?
b6.
By the way, 140. Wesley's heart rate. That's huge.
Yeah, Wesley's heart rate is always higher, and he has mentioned that before as well. Sam brings his rook to c8.
No.
And now queen d2.
Why did the bar not like the move queen d2?
I think, Amruta, this square should have been reserved for the knight, perhaps, so that after this knight d5 is possible with the support of the bishop. And once the queen goes on d2, the knight is being asked, where do you want to go? And by the way, queen d7, extremely strong idea, could be bishop h3, but also just connecting the rooks, and f5, f4 could be on card somewhere.
Tanmay, Sagar Amrita, since it's double elimination, does Sam has to beat Wesley twice
Yes.
to win the title?
Yes, if he wants to win. If Wesley wins, it's over. But if Sam wins, then he has to beat Wesley again. 135 is the heart rate of Wesley So. He looks so calm on the outside, but deep within, he's a bit stressed. But also, Amruta, as we have been taught by Ashwin, our good friend, who is also the heart rate master, that it's not only about the heart rate, it's also about the fact that what is your baseline. Some people's baseline is itself very high, and Wesley So's baseline can be like 130. So then he's pretty calm. Okay, d5 played, very strong move by Shankland. Takes with the knight. Now b3 is weak, d3 is weak. You can argue that this is like a hedgehog position.
Exactly,
but
reverse Maroxy bind.
this knight would have been better on d2 than defending b3, thinking of going here and here. But once it's on e2, you can see it has hardly any possibilities here. So Wesley makes a very, very committal move, e4 here, Amruta.
Whoa, he's accepted the backward d3 pawn forever. He has given the d4 square forever. This should really help him, otherwise this move is completely gone.
I think what he wants to do is after knight c7 play b4, but Amruta, after take as Sam has done, now knight to b5 could be very strong. Yeah, he does it. Knight to b5, and both the knights want to come here. Also a threat is bishop g4, chopping one of the knights, and then d4 is very, very secure. But Wesley sacrifices an exchange and takes the pawn on e5. He thinks that this is some compensation, but I don't see it, Amruta. This is clearly a better position for Sam Shankland, but now he has to keep his nerves intact if he wants to beat Wesley. Queen c2 is a good move, and he finds it.
Man.
Wow.
Sam is handling his pieces so well today.
He's playing excellently.
But I'm also impressed with actually Wesley's, this creative sacrifice. We didn't even consider it. It's not natural. So requires a lot of guts to play that.
Agreed. By the way, here after queen e3, the bishop can be taken on e5. Let's see what he plays.
Then queen h6 and knight g5. Okay.
The bishop will just drop back.
Okay, got it. No time.
So takes, and plays his queen to b2. What a strong move.
Nice.
Attacking here. d4 by Wesley. And now bishop c4 is very powerful. He goes rook c2. But now Amruta, queen h6 is very powerful. You know, queen
what
h6.
happens for rook e2?
Rook e2. And then just knight takes g6 and it would have been a draw at the very least. But instead he went knight d3 and this allows queen a3. Good move by Sam. d5 pawn push. Attacking the bishop. Now bishop g4 must be played by Sam.
Still, this is getting complicated somehow.
But he goes bishop d7.
It is getting complicated. Amazing what Wesley has been able to achieve on the board.
And h4 played again, a very strong move. h5 stopping the pawn. But now Wesley is already better after knight ef4.
Those knights are gonna create all kinds of dance over there. Rook e8.
But look at this, Amruta. Will Wesley find knight takes h5, gh5, queen g5 or e5, getting the bishop here and the queen.
Very difficult in 40 seconds, but if he finds, it's
Oh, he finds it! Knight h5. What a move by Wesley So, showing his class. What a player! Knight takes h5.
He is so Wesley, Gary.
He's so good. He's so good. G takes h5. Check from the queen. e5 was a stronger move, but king f8. Wesley now has to continue. What does he do? Queen h6 check.
Yeah.
No,
and
he
then
puts his knight on e5.
No,
but
why
now,
not queen h6 and
Amruta,
e5?
just take this. Rook e5 is a very good move for
And
black.
Tang will be active. He plays that. Wesley's heart rate is 173.
What?
Oh my goodness.
173?
Queen b4 blunder.
This is a big blunder by Sam Shankland because
Because there is
queen
queen h8
h8,
check. And then you go e5.
e5 and d6. He plays the check. King here,
Yes, he
e5
finds
finds it. D6
He
is
doesn't miss
almost
it
a
one more
mate,
time.
Amruta. If d6, king e6, queen f6 mate. What does
Bishop
Sam do?
moves. Maybe the bishop moves.
Yeah, he plays bishop e8, but d6 check.
King d7, bishop h3. Oh, that's
Oh.
over. The silent
But he
piece
played
on
king
G8.
d8. And now bishop h3 foul.
Anyway.
Idea d7.
This
What?
was an amazing
He's a piece
game.
down, but white is completely crushing it here. He sacks the
Pawn.
check. King here, check. And now he takes the pawn, the knight with the pawn. Bishop b5, but guys, the queen.
d7 just.
No, queen is hanging.
blunder. Queen e5 then.
Rook a1, brilliant move. Threatening a mate here. So a5, check, takes, king a6, and now bishop g2. What a cool move. Bishop c. Oh, he has bishop c6, d7, queen d4, still stopping it. Well, bishop takes c6 has to be played here.
6, 5.
It's not
4.
easy. It's not easy. He plays bishop f1, but now Sam is better. He's back in the game.
No, it's complicated, super complicated.
Rook
Sagar.
d1.
But as he said, yes, he's better now.
Oh, blunder. Queen g6 and he blunders the rook on
Oh
c2.
my goodness. Why didn't we get to see his reaction?
Huge blunder, Amruta.
Look
because-
at him. Look at him. He cannot believe himself. He got that chance.
Yeah, he had to just move his rook back and then the d7 pawn would have fallen, but he took here and then after check, he missed that his rook was hanging. And with this, Wesley takes the lead. It's going to be very tough
Absolutely. By
to
the way,
beat him.
Mukul says अब बीच बीच में मत जाना सागर भाई आप ज़्यादा अच्छे लगते हो और थोड़ी देर तो
But we have to listen to what
Okay,
our
sure, let's go
commentators
then,
are
let's
saying.
go, guys. We'll catch up with you.
Quite a tough situation, but then he turned it around with some very interesting tactics. What can we say about the opening?
Well, I have to say, it was a departure from Wesley's normal style. Wesley loves
So we'll
to
also
take the
hang in
center,
there.
he loves to
And we'll
play
also
in a very classical way.
go
And this
here.
time he said, okay, Sam, you are going to take control of the center. I'm just going to attack it. It didn't really work out for him, I must say. But unfortunately, the game comprises of more than just the opening. And here we see the moment where things start to swing in Sam's favor. He breaks out in the center. He has full control. He has lovely piece play. But Wesley, resourceful as ever.
Yeah, Sam.
No,
certainly
Wesley
looking
fought
like
back
he was
really
getting
well.
the upper hand in that
Tremendous.
early middle game stage. But as the middle game progressed, Wesley started taking a lot of risks, and this
But
is a
what
great
was that
strategy.
sacrifice?
When things are starting to go
Which one?
bad, rather
Ah,
than
rook c6.
fade away and
Practically,
die
he made
slowly,
it work.
you might as well
Yeah.
go out in a fireball of flames. Much better way to die, surely. You don't want to just fade away, and that's why Wesley took a lot of risks and he sacrificed, because he thought, well, if I'm going to lose, I'm going to really make it complicated and I'm going to give myself some chances.
Yeah.
Great way to play.
Great strategy to initiate chaos. And I just have to say this is why Wesley is an elite player. And here's the moment, where Wesley said, no, I do not want to draw. I want to go for your king, go for checkmate. And he throws in all the pieces he can towards the black king. And Sam was just completely forced on the defenses and just cracked, lost.
Yeah, I can't believe he got his heart rate up to 175.
I know.
I mean, that is serious stuff.
It is serious stuff, but the funny thing is, like, Wesley continues to play great moves. His heart rate might be pounding, it might be through the roof. It does not matter. It does not affect his chess. In fact, it seems like he thrives on it. And we're going to see the moment here where Sam blunders his rook. I mean, his position is pretty bad anyhow. And there he takes the pawn, but queen comes to g6.
Was
You're
there a
gonna
chance
check.
there? I mean, maybe the rook could have come back, but then the bishop would have come in. It was game over there. And it's interesting. Okay, well, the countdown for now the second game, but there could be some scientific studies in this, because clearly Wesley is getting in the zone by getting a very high heart rate. It's very interesting to see. He's getting himself stressed out, but then somehow transferring that brilliant energy to the board. And let's just remind everyone what the situation is now. Wesley took the first game. Wesley only needs any kind of result here, a draw, a win, and Wesley is then the champion. It's going to be very tough for Sam, but he does have the white pieces.
Yep, he will need to win on demand. 19 seconds to the start of play. The action is brewing. And here Sam will have to just throw caution to the wind. He just has to open aggressively. He has to destabilize Wesley early on because Wesley knows his stuff. 4 seconds. And I'm predicting Sam opens with a king's pawn. Here you go, handshake. He has to, okay, he continues with a winning formula, opening.
Okay, Amruta, let's go. What do you think is going to happen here? Will Sam Shankland fight back?
He had such few moments after that blunder. The blunder was the last move. It's very difficult.
Very difficult to come back.
Very.
C4 played by Sam, E6 by Wesley. We have some sort of a Catalan. He doesn't go D4. He plays B3 first here. And after D5, bishop B2, knight comes out to C6. Now there are 2 moves here. E3 is one. You can also take, he takes, and the knight takes on D5. Wow. So Amruta, would you play knight C3 now?
Yeah.
Or would you play D4? Would you
D4
play
also.
queen C1? There are many
Queen
options.
Every option is great.
Take. And he plays queen to C7. Look at Wesley's prep. Queen C2. But I feel, Amruta, that this opening should be okay for black. Yeah, like B6, BB7 seems like a plan. He goes E5. Wanting to get the
that's so
bishop
nice.
out from here. Like bishop E6 maybe.
So firstly, he has got a comfortable opening. And Wesley, so Sam may not be very happy with this. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. Because he's in a must win here. So A3. But I think Wesley So is very well placed to win this for now. He just needs a draw. But if Sam wins, we'll go into the Armageddon.
What is he thinking? He wants to develop. Oh, F5.
Not yet. He's still thinking. But yes,
He's going for something rash. That's going to be risky.
yeah,
Would you say that?
could be.
Yeah, there's some chat which we will have to catch up later.
F5 played. F5 played by Wesley So. And now it's also quite an interesting move by Wesley because, he could be very solid with the move A5, something like rook E8, bishop F8. But he decided to play F5, which is somehow not a very Wesley-like move. D3 by Sam.
Yeah, but he's being fearless here. He wants to keep it interesting. It's nice. Or maybe he believes in his move just too much.
How about just queen b2, hitting e5? That's exactly what Sam has done. Good move.
Ah,
Because if your bishop goes to f6, I can go b4.
but he goes knight d4.
Yeah, he.
Okay. I'm announcing the moves earlier.
Yeah, maybe knight d4, Amrita. If that happens, then we have an idea of b4 in the air.
We have a few people in the chat, Sagar, Travel with Nikhil Roshan, Being Brilliant at Chess, Mukul, Yug. Arey, Yug, he keeps asking me, Amrita, do you remember that day on live stream when I beat you in Bullet? Very magnificent moment for me.
Yes.
I agree.
By the way, Amrita, here, instead of when he played knight d4, b4 was very powerful. But he instead went e3 and now black is okay. Bishop f6, b4 played, which is very natural.
Hey, but after cb4, ab4, black is actually having two outside passed pawns. Sorry, he can create one outside passed pawn, which should be fine.
CB, AB,
Hmm.
and which outside passer?
In the future. Can you see the future?
Maybe, yeah, you're saying in b6, a5, yes?
Yeah.
But he goes e4. What a move. Now the problem is, this is hanging.
Mm-hmm.
And also the threat is to take on f3. Let's see what they choose.
Oh.
Takes on f3.
Wow, opposite colored bishop.
Yeah, with, if the queen can somehow magically reach here, it's mate.
Whom is it favoring right now?
For sure, this one is very complicated. But right now, he goes bishop e5. And Wesley plays his queen to f7, just as planned. Queen h5, queen h3 coming in.
Oh, h4. But then, what else do you do? How do you stop?
But Amrita,
queen
Sam
h5,
is in
queen
ahead on
h3?
time at least.
Oh, you could play queen d4, queen h4.
Yeah, but the trade of queens just takes away all the edge that white was fighting for, or all the advantage. Plays h4.
Hey, what about g5 then?
Rook fd8. Possible.
Okay,
Amrita.
what was-
Also, a
why
very
did they-
classy move was f4. No matter what you take, let's say bishop take, I'll come from this side.
Ooh, actually Wesley missed it.
Yeah.
A bit surprising. But okay. Now again, does he have the same chance?
Yes, he plays f4, but maybe it's not as strong. Rook f,
Then it's a bit
queen
funny.
f5, and now this is coming in, Amrita.
How do I stop? What
If you play
do I
queen
do?
c3, oh, you go rook a3, but now bishop d5 just defends the pawn and threatens queen h3.
Is it lost then?
Yeah, completely. He goes bishop
Oh my
a5,
God.
king h2, stopping queen h3. Somehow, if Wesley can find the final breakthrough, it would mean he would win the tournament. I think a very good idea is to play rook c8 and get it down to c2. It seems like Sam's heart rate is under control, but his position is not. He goes rook c8, rook c1, bishop 6.
Now you're threatening queen h3 check. But what if rook f3?
Yeah, he did that. Now
What's
queen
happening?
f3, king g1, bishop d5. And the rook cannot move because then there is a mate.
Oh, you lose an exchange.
Yep. Puts his bishop there. Fantastic play. Really like it.
Brilliant. Totally brilliant.
He plays rook c3, take. He hasn't taken yet, but hasn't played rook c3. Still some thoughts. Sam is on 26 seconds. Wesley has 36. Takes.
But this is now almost becoming clear. It's
What?
over. He resigned.
Oh, he resigned already because he's losing the rook. And otherwise there's a mate here. The queen is attacked, and let's see what Wesley So has to say, Amrita, because the game is ended and He's the champion of the first leg of the Armageddon. Congratulations, Wesley, for this
Manages to
amazing
make the
performance.
comeback when he's
And
needed.
let's go
Oh,
back to
what
our
a star
studio
player,
with our
showing us
commentators.
why he is in the elite.
Positions in those games, but it's one thing to get a promising position, it's another thing to convert those positions to wins. Wesley was just phenomenal there, absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, what a classy player, I have to say. So good. And here are the moments, you know, when Wesley decides just up the stakes. And I love the way he handled himself over the next few moves. You know, he puts his pieces on active posts, and when he needed to, he struck out and unbalanced the position.
He did indeed. I mean, it was a bit annoying for Sam because he kind of did everything right. You know, he played some great ideas, but this is where Wesley really did the right thing again. He unbalanced the position. He got that black pawn right near to White's king, and I'm sure that Sam would not have wanted to allow that idea, because in the end that pawn was the killer pawn. Wesley brought his queen around to support it, and the White king was under too much pressure. That one little pawn, it won the game. A little foot soldier did all the damage.
Yeah. And there we can see this is the killer moment. You know, he just opens up all the light squares for the taking, and the cost, a measly pawn. And there you go. The queen comes in. It's going to snake its way to the h3 square, and Wesley just invincible.
Yeah, he was invincible, and this was the final flourish. The queen comes in, and he sacrificed that killer pawn. That pawn is a hero of this game, all the way into enemy territory, gave his life up to allow the other pieces to excel. That bishop now attacking the rook, and just it's only two pieces that are needed here. Just Black's bishop and queen. They were killing White's structure and king there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful moment of chess. I mean, just can see that White's pieces are just helpless. There's no way that anything can stop that killer bishop, and the rook's just overrunning the white position. And Sam, well, his heart rate was skyrocketing at this point. He knows there's nothing he can do. You can see the shake of his head. He comes up, makes a move, and after Wesley's next move, the rook is going to come, attacking the queen. That is it. It is curtains. It is over. And Wesley is the worthy winner of the American series.
Well, we're going to now have an interview with the loser of that match, Sam Shankland. So let's go over there now.
Sam, well, today has been an intense day for you. We'll talk about both matches, but let's start with the final. You lost both games to Wesley, but they were incredibly exciting. Can you tell us a bit about them?
Yeah, I mean, I came after him from move one with both colors. I think I got really nice positions actually in both games, but he was a bit sharper at a couple critical moments when I misplayed it, and yeah, I mean, you know, credit to him for taking his chance when it came, of course, but yeah, I think I could have done better in this last match.
Is still the most important thing to you when you beat Andrew? That means you qualified to grand final. How much does that mean to you?
Yeah, that was the big goal coming in, like long before I got my pairing tree or anything. I thought if I make it to the grand final and second place is fine. I mean, but it's easier to say that until you're actually playing the match for first and you lose it like that. But yeah, obviously the tournament, while it ended on a very sour note, and it's because I left so many chances on the table, obviously overall the tournament was a success.
Let's talk about the match against Andrew. That went completely the other way. You won both games. Tell us a bit about those.
Yeah, it just felt very smooth. I think Andrew just didn't bring his best today. He brought much higher quality chess to the other matches he played. I was even coming into the match thinking he's probably a favorite just because he spent so much time playing Blitz and Bullet online, and I really haven't. But just got very smooth positions both games. I prepared him both times and sort of cruised. So I was pleasantly surprised that it went as well as it did.
Can you tell us a little bit about what, in your opinion, made this tournament, the Armageddon series, so special?
Well, I like that there's all the attention going towards production and that it's very TV friendly and stuff like that. This is very different than your normal Blitz where you play like 9 games in a day and it's just one right after the other. And because there's only one game going on at a time, it gives the commentators the freedom to look at that game only. So I quite like this one. I thought it turned out really nicely.
If you had to use just one word to describe this Armageddon series, what would that word be?
Enjoyable.
Will you still be following the coming tournaments? The next one, for example, we have a certain Vladimir Kramnik playing. Will you keeping an eye on it?
It depends on my schedule. I'll be back in California, so I guess plus 9 hours. If it starts at 7 p.m., that's 10 a.m. for me. So I guess I could. It depends. But if I have tournaments of my own to play, I can't be watching. But I guess I should be keeping an eye out for who I will face in the final in September.
For sure. You talked about your schedule. I believe you have another tournament lined up very, very soon.
Yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow for the American Cup in St. Louis, where I'll actually face Wesley in round 1. So that's... he got the better of me here and clearly showed better form, but hopefully I can find improvements before I have to play him. And classical chess caters a little more to my strengths.
How do you adapt with so little time? I guess there will be more prep to do. What's your plan for the next couple of days before that starts?
Mostly just rest. I mean, this was tiring, and I have a long journey ahead of me tomorrow. I've got to take a train to Frankfurt and fly Frankfurt, Chicago, St. Louis. It's a long day of travel. I'll be jet lagged, so I'm just going to try to recover and do my best to play well over there.
Just one final question. Looking back now that the tournament is over, how did you enjoy your week here in Berlin?
It was a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to being back in September. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's the big tragedy of knockout events is no matter how well you play, unless you won the tournament, no matter how well you play, you've lost the last match, which always leaves it a little sour. But I certainly had a great time here in Berlin, and I was very glad to have been invited.
Well, Sam, it was a pleasure having you. Congratulations. We look forward to having you back in September. For now, back to the studio where Jovanka and Simon are with our winner, Wesley So.
Well, it's great. We've got the winner in the studio. So first of all, congratulations to Wesley.
Yeah.
Well done, Wesley. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Yeah, thank you to everyone who made this tournament great and possible. Really happy to be here. And
yeah,
that was, I mean, today was just an icing on the cake. That was just brilliant.
Yeah. And how did you feel, especially during the first game where it looked a little bit shaky for you?
Yeah, I was kind of regretting my opening choice there at the beginning. Problem is Sam plays many different openings, many different setups. So I didn't expect him to play c5 the first move. I was kind of regretting how the opening turned out. Now was obviously worse because his pieces are very well placed. But I was trying to equalize, trying to find ways to get a playable position. And after knight b5 rook takes c6, I got some chances. I was quite pleased when I saw this exchange sacrifice.
Yeah.
One thing that really impressed me was in both games when maybe the position was starting to go, well, it was a bit tough. You switched it up. So you sacrificed the exchange in that one, and you found this. You got the pawn to f3 in the other game. So were you feeling confident in that game, the last one, when the pawn got near White's king?
Yeah, for sure, because now I have to lose like 3 games in a row in order to... looking in hindsight, I think the match yesterday with Andrew was very critical for this event because that meant Sam had to win 3 matches today to win it all, and it's just the odds are against you. When in a 2-game match, anything can happen. But when I won the first game with White, the match was essentially pretty much over. It's hard to win many games in a row on demand, and also I had the increment. But when the pawn got to f3, I realized I wasn't risking anything. The opposite colored bishops, even if I lose that pawn, I get very good compensation. I think he got nothing the opening out of the second game because I played this line before with Black last year against Levon Aronian.
And you'll be pleased to know you actually got a personal best when it came to heart rates.
Oh, yeah.
You managed to, I think, 1.7, was it?
175.
175.
I think, yeah, so it's...
Did you reach 175 today?
I think so. That's what our heart rate monitor said. So you broke all records.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
You won the game, and somehow, I mean, do you feel the pressure? Do you feel that your heart is pumping furiously? And or are
No.
you just in the zone?
Not at all. I think I had a pretty high rate for many years, a pretty high heart rate for many years now. So I don't feel anything at all. Unfortunately, I don't have to wear this watch in every tournament I go to. But right now it's pretty low. I mean, it's 100, it's around 99. So
That's because we relax you. Is that right?
yeah.
After the stress of the chess,
Good.
it was obviously very stressful there.
Because yeah, it's pretty shocking. My heart rate is that high, and I don't feel it one bit at all. I'm just playing normally and all that. But I need to be in better physical shape, obviously. For that could be one thing that I could improve upon.
Yeah. And I just wanted to ask you a little bit about what you feel when you're sat down and there's all these lights coming, and then you know you're going to be on television. I mean, what runs through your head?
Just adrenaline and excitement, and you know, this is the big moment. I've been waiting for, prepared hard for this tournament. But at the same time, this tournament was not so bad because it's only 3-minute games, so it's nice and fast. You gotta be extremely focused those first few minutes, but then the match is suddenly over. You know, you just give your all and try to make use of every chance that you get.
Yeah. And are you superstitious by any chance? Do you have a ritual that you abide by?
No, not really. now that I mentioned superstitious.
We have a lot of action in the back there. Just don't say superstitious again, please.
I stand corrected. I will not make that mistake ever again.
Fiona thrown no, only joking. So,
But yeah, no, I don't have any superstitions, and my mother doesn't believe in luck. But it's nice when you have a routine. This tournament, it's nice. Pretty much do the same thing every day. I come to the venue, I start the game the same time every day. So it's nice when you're doing the same thing every day, and when it's going well, I don't change anything. I wear the same shirt, wear the same pants, just try to do the same thing, and not to change anything unless I lose.
And in the next one of these Armageddon series, there's really some serious player. That's the Asian thing. We've got Kramnik playing.
Yeah.
And he's obviously ex-world champion and a fantastic player. I mean, would you be looking forward to playing someone like Kramnik?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, he retired, was it 4 years ago? But he still plays speed chess from time to time, and actually this year he played some speed chess online. I was watching his games, and he's still really, really good. I'm very impressed by Vladimir Kramnik. He's one of the best chess players who's ever lived.
Do you have a hero chess player? Do you have one chess player you look up to more than anyone else?
Well, right now it's Magnus. He's just so consistent. But I also like, Bobby Fischer. He's an American hero. And the things he did in 1970 cannot be replicated. But yeah, next tournament, Armageddon series will be very strong. It's not only got Kramnik. I think it's also had, Vincent Keimer, Alexander Donchenko, Germans. Who else? Richard Rapport, Jan Christoph.
Yeah, I think it's the Asian
It's
one.
the Asian one, so it's
the Asian one.
Dubov, and
Oh yeah, Kramnik is on the Asia and Oceania.
Vidit is also playing. I mean, so many
Geographic.
good names. But
for sure.
I know that
Daniel Dubov, Gukesh. Yeah, it's going to be very exciting. I mean, this first leg is interesting too because some of the top players like Nakamura Kawana and Aronian didn't play, but it's an interesting mix. I'm very glad to qualify for the finals.
And I know that you have another tournament coming up next, within the next few days, the American Cup.
Yeah.
If memory serves me correctly, you'll be playing Sam Shankland, right, in the first round?
Yeah, that's true. It's the second year we have this American Cup, and it's also double elimination. It's 8 of the top players in the US. So I was seeded number 3 and Sam is seeded number 6. So that's how it goes. But you'll have a much longer time control. It's also a 2-game match.
Mm-hmm. So were you trying to hide preparation?
Yeah, for faster time controls, you don't need to show as much opening preparation as opening preparation is not as important because you make mistakes and all that. And I was watching Sam's first game against Tang earlier, and I think he mixed up the move order in the opening. Like said, bishop g5 should play knight d5. But anyway, it's just the time is so fast, you kind of make mistakes here and there. But yeah, but I mean, Sam is one of the best prepared players in the US. So.
And a final question. I mean, you are the Armageddon champion. Do you feel relief now? Excitement? Are you a bit disappointed it's over? What emotions are you feeling?
How can I be disappointed when I won?
Disappointed it's over. Maybe you want to play some more, you know? So.
Oh, play some more?
Yeah.
Well, we can play later.
Oh God. Okay, challenge accepted. So,
you're a grandmaster.
Well, yeah, apparently so. Okay, so I'm gonna get battered by Wesley later on. But I look forward to it.
Maybe. Yeah. No, I'm very pleased because I haven't won a tournament in 4 months, so this is a huge deal for me.
Brilliant. Well, thank you, Wesley. And I think we're now going to be joined by Fiona. Highlights are coming first, though. So let's go and have a look at the highlights.
Congratulations, Wesley.
Oh, yeah.
Well done.
And time to also mention another partner, IT.com, the official partner of the Armageddon Championship Series. A domain registry like no other, it provides a platform for anyone to create innovative domains and effectively showcase their online presence. Don't miss this opportunity. Visit IT.com today and create your unique online image.
Brilliant stuff. Well, it's been so exciting so far, and Wesley has just proven to be a bit of class, well, a class above, I'd say. Everyone else quite slightly there with his fantastic play. And he was just crushing everyone, wasn't he? And a lovely chap as well. And he wants to play me later. How do you think that's going to go? Do you think I'll better take him down?
Yeah.
Destroy him a little bit?
I think he won't be able to handle your unique, aggressive style, Simon. Don't put yourself down. I reckon you'll take a few points.
You reckon? Okay, well, we'll see. So we might be able to get some highlights of that later on. Obviously, the highlight of the whole event, me playing Wesley and Wesley crushing me. Actually, talking about getting crushed.
I thought I was going in here discreetly.
Very discreetly. And we're joined by our great friend. And the only game I've played during this whole event was against Fiona. And Fiona, you crushed me.
I did.
So how you doing, Fiona?
I'm doing well. I am, unlike Wesley, a little bit disappointed the tournament is over because it's been such great fun working with you guys, with our lovely players and the fantastic team behind the scenes. I think I want to give a big shout out to everyone because you guys at home see us, but there's so many people working behind the scenes to make this all happen. So yeah, it's been great fun. I think Wesley, a deserving champion, and all in all, a fantastic start to this new series.
Definitely, yeah.
Absolutely. I couldn't say it better myself. I mean, absolutely wonderful series, full of adrenaline, full of Armageddons, pushing chess to the limit. And I have to say, you know, Wesley started off as the favorite. He just showed us all how it's done, how he can handle those nerves and play chess under such stress.
And did you get a chance to, you were working quite hard, well, very hard, I should say. Did you get a chance to enjoy any of the chess?
I did enjoy, I mean, the games. I've been following them closely down in the control room. I didn't get to play any chess, only against you.
Did you say you were going to retire after the game? It's the highlight of your life. I believe you may have mentioned. So,
something like that. No, but it's been, I think, just a very enjoyable tournament. I got to interview, you know, all the players, and I think all of them really enjoyed. I think today I don't want to put words into it. I think it was Sam. I asked him, you know, one word to describe this event, and he said enjoyable. So I think the players had a fun time. We had a fun time. And yeah, on to the next one very soon. But what a start to this series. And I think, as you mentioned, Wesley, such a deserving champion. Maybe one of the only players who didn't play a single Armageddon game.
Yeah, well, we can actually, talking about the next event, I mean, this is the sort of first one. Let's have a look at the Asia and Oceania one, and we've got some amazing players playing in this. I mean, just look at that lineup. I know that, well, one of your favorite players of all time is Big Vlad, isn't it, Fiona? We can see Vladimir is in there, but look at the other lineup as well. I mean, they're all amazing, Jovanka, there.
Yeah, I mean, they're incredible players. I mean, Gukesh, man of the moment, and we have Murali Karthikeyan, who actually is an online qualifier, and we have a big question mark as well, because there is still an online qualifier to be played, and any one of us, well, actually, we're not from Asia. Anyone from Asia, Oceania, can have a shot at joining us here in Berlin from April 3rd to April 9th.
I mean, I'd love to play Kramnik, you know. Well, I'd get to play Wesley So. I mean, that's probably...
You get to play Wesley right now.
No, he said he wants to play me afterwards. He's punished enough people. He wants to punish some more, I feel, and that's going to be exciting for me. But yeah, make sure you put those dates in your diary. I mean, there's loads of stuff on YouTube. You can watch some great interviews with Fiona, some highlights from us. And yeah, we've definitely enjoyed Berlin as well. It's been interesting. Good fun at times. Have you got a highlight, both of you, that you can say from the whole event or from outside of the event?
I think for me, the highlight inside the event has to be that first Armageddon match between Andrew Tang and Lenia Dominguez, because you know, this was how chess was played before, and we saw it kind of getting back to its roots. The players kind of weren't so familiar with playing so quickly, so we saw the pieces go flying, the heart rate skyrocketed. We didn't even know what to say, because we were just like, my God, the players are going so quickly. It was like, look at the clock. And I love that moment, and I think it kind of deservedly went viral.
Definitely, yeah. And what about you?
I was going to pick the same moment. I think for a lot of people, you know, who followed this event, who were watching us live, I think that was the defining moment. It was really the first showstopper of this event. And yeah, as Jovanka said, you know, this is what chess used to be. Now we have moved more towards time controls with increment. We'll see, you know, where we go from here, but I think this tournament, it really got the heart rates pumping. I think not just of the players, but the people at home as well. I think really enjoyed this show, so I can't wait for the next one. As you guys said, some fantastic names, and what a fun event it has been.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, again, the next event is sort of leading up to the grand final. I mean, it is a very interesting experiment, this. I love it. I love the quick pace. I mean, a lot of people say classical chess is a little bit too slow. Like the world champion, he's going for more quicker time limits. And this Armageddon has led to some crazy finishes, pieces going, some arguments, you know, and it's just been extremely exciting. I mean, my highlight, probably the Eric Hansen interview, which you can see, which you can see on YouTube as well.
That's what I should have said. That's what you're setting me up for.
Well, you've been doing some brilliant interviews and all this extra material. Just go to World Chess, and it's all on there. They got great ideas going on for the future. So there's loads of stuff to come. And I've never seen such a funky studio. It's like, you know, this is like, I feel like a Smurf, a blue ginger Smurf in this studio. So you can tell we're having some great fun here as well during this last week or so, commentating away. So it's been good.
It's been a lot of fun, and I definitely can't wait, like you say, for the next event, the Asia and Oceania series. And we saw some amazing players. We just also have to reiterate that it starts from April the 3rd Here we go, April the 3rd to April the 9th, and this time there's going to be something even more special, because on April the 2nd, these players plus one other qualifier will be available for fans to meet and greet at the Unter den Linden World Chess Club.
Do you think I could get a signature off Kramnik? That would make my year. Do you reckon he'd let me get a signature? You know,
I think he would.
You think so?
Yeah, maybe he'd even give you a game like Wesley.
Maybe. I'm not sure I want that. No, of course I'd love to play. I mean, Kramnik is one of the greatest chess players of all time. And just a bit of information we got as well. We're putting a little other records on the line here. Who gets the highest heart rate? This is a completely unique thing. So we got the highest. I thought it was Wesley So, 175, but it wasn't. Can anyone guess who got the highest right? It wasn't Wesley.
Well, I can't guess because I actually know the answer.
Okay, any guess?
I thought I was hearing the same stuff as you, but my
You're
mind.
supposed to pretend like.
I cannot lie, Simon.
You're not a very good liar, are you?
No, I
you
really
need to
am
practice
not.
that.
Yeah, but we did hear that it was Lenia Dominguez with a heart rate of 181, and as a prize, I guess he gets a trip to the doctors.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You win a trip to the emergency room, Mr. Dominguez. Well done there. So, and the lowest heart rate, I'm not sure. I think it was Andrew Tang. I mean, he's young, he's healthy.
How, what a cool customer Andrew is. Even in the interviews afterwards, you know, I was really impressed. Like, for example, that Armageddon that you referenced, both came and both were so calm. I mean, I thought they're going to be all over the place, but no, really, really impressed by our players, you know, on both ends of the spectrum.
I can remember once in a tournament, I got asked if I could wear a heart rate monitor, and I said, no, I can't. You're not. I'd be like, I might be the first person to be over 200. That's what I was worried about. It's not happening. It's just not happening. And yeah, but it's a great idea. We don't see this enough at events, and I love that loads of new things are being tried here, and you know, you can check out these heart rates and all those matches again by going on the World Chess YouTube channel and also the social media channels. So.
Absolutely, check out, as you Simon said, the YouTube channel, but also Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can find us everywhere under either World Chess or the World Chess. I'm sure you'll manage to find it, and lots of content both that was filmed live here, but also behind the scenes, so you can get a bit of an idea of what was happening here in Berlin.
Yeah, it's a lovely place they got here. So if you're in Berlin, this is a place to check out, definitely. And Berlin as a town is quite interesting as well. I think we'd all agree. Very, very nice place to come. So we are coming to the end now of this America's season of the Armageddon chess tournament, and it's only going to get better, it's only going to get stronger, and it's only going to get faster. I want to see if 181 is going to be beating as a heart rate. So we will see. We'll find out later on. And yeah, I mean, any last words?
No, I mean, apart from it was just a fantastic event, you know, absolutely revolutionary. You know, so we saw some incredible games of chess. Our hearts stopped beating, I think, on several occasions. And we saw chess players at their rawest, their finest. And I love the fact that I feel like chess is being reclaimed by the streets.
Absolutely. A big thank you to all of you out there, of course, who watched us throughout the week. We hope you enjoyed the show. We hope you enjoyed what you saw, and hopefully we'll see you for the next one.